Good afternoon, everybody. Co-creating the city of tomorrow. But which tomorrow are we looking at? A tomorrow where every decision doesn't matter related to what. We look into planning stage, we look into infrastructure planning, we look into building a city, and whatever else component of the built environment should be driven by data and cutting-edge technology. Then big dream can happen. Have you ever heard about Christophorus Columbus? He discovered the United States, America, not the United States actually. And that year was 1492. And everyone at that time was telling him he was crazy. But he had a vision. Unfortunately, at that time, the only thing that he had in his own hands was a compass. No technology, no sextant, no charts, maps, an unknown horizon. What is beyond the horizon? This is what drove Christophorus to discover the Americas. And here we are with another vision, but a vision based on facts, actual planning, multiple components, multiple forces, which will play together to build the Saudi Arabia of 2030. A dream based on three main pillars. I am an economist by background. When I look at vibrant society, I need to have a thriving economy and I need to have an ambitious nation, because this is not the dream of one man, it's the dream of a country. And I am just amazed by what has been set to be hit by the year 2030. I give you one nearby example, Dubai, United Arab Emirates. The dream started in 1980s and is not yet completed. Why? Because they had to invent technology. Reclamation. Reclamation has been one of the biggest breakthrough at that time of the realization of Dubai Dream. Nowadays we have all the available and all the imaginable technology available to build Vision 2030 for Saudi Arabia. Non-oil revenue. Think about a country that has been relying for decades on crude oil only. It's just a money-making product. I no need to look into anything different. And instead, a very ambitious target was set for Saudi Arabia to become equally balanced on oil and non-oil revenue. Private GDP to grow, tourism to be attracted, women to be enhanced in their role in the society, and household to be educated in savings. What happened of all these dreams? Where are the achievements? Impressive, because non-oil revenue is already ahead of where was supposed to be, has been exceeded. 50% of the GDP of Saudi Arabia is nowadays no more depending on crude oil. And to me, this is the fundamental achievement to move forward to all the rest of the Vision 2030 dreams. GDP equally distributed between public and private. 47% at Q4 of 2024, exceeded ahead of schedule. Will need to be revised. Ladies and gentlemen, a country which is based on a strong domestic consumption and production is a winner. Look at Germany, look at US, look at my own country, Italy. What happened after World War II? All based on internal consumption, GDP from private industry. Woman workforce participation. This is a radical change, and I salute Saudi Arabia for having achieved this. In Q4 2024, 36% was already done. That places a woman in the right place in the society, which is equal to men, equal carrying responsibilities and accountabilities. Tourist arrival and attract the tourist in a country without that much of attraction beside the Hajj, beside Mecca and Medina for Muslim is not easy. Even though not easy, you already had to increase 50% your target because in 2023 you already surpassed the 100 million target posed for 2030. What and why I'm talking about Vision 2030 and the achievement? Because these 5 achievements are the ones that will help building the Saudi Arabia of the future. Now, unfortunately, household saving, still working on it, is a change of education, is a change of mindset, is a change of habits that may take longer to be achieved, but is on the way. Now, why all this introduction on Proptech? In the next couple of slides, you will understand why Proptech and a close collaboration, not only between different stakeholders in a country, but between stakeholders at the global level is so important. Industrial Revolution 4.0, Klaus Schwab, CEO of the World Economic Forum, said that IR 4.0 doesn't change what we do, but is transforming who we are. As well as this is true, through the adoption of Proptech, everywhere, in every layer of the built environment, we will be able, through the adoption and leveraging on innovation, to create a smarter and more sustainable city for the advantage of everyone. Vision 2030, everyone will enjoy the outcome of the achievement. Full application, full achievement of the Industrial Revolution 4.0 status, becoming a fully industrialized country, everyone will share the outcome of this. And same will be in the moment in which our cities, our built environment will be strongly based and constructed with a very big impact by Proptech. Why Proptech? Have you ever realized that 90% of our lifetime, is spent within buildings, ladies and gentlemen? Are buildings important? Are cities important? Are essential to our thriving, our lifestyle, our work, our families, our health, our mental well-being. Cities, buildings, built environment is where we live 90% of our lives. And here, urbanization is what has been changing the world. Urbanization is what attracts people from the outskirts, from the rural areas, from the desertic areas in Saudi Arabia moving into urban centers. But I call it the city paradox, because cities are extremely good for economic growth and human prosperity, but are horrible for our planet. 33% of the world landmass is occupied, is constituted, is built by cities. But 55% of the world population is living in this 3% of mass. And in Saudi Arabia, you are at 90%, you will be at 90% by 2050. 90% of 26 million population of Saudi Arabia will live in cities. Knowing that cities are basically annihilating, destroying ecosystem, biodiversity, cementifying forest, cementifying empty spaces. 41% of the cities in the world have a pollution rate, carbon emission, which is far above what has been recommended by WHO. And cities are consuming 75% of the world energy, and at the same time creating 70% of energy-related CO2 emission. You understand the city paradox? We need cities. We need to develop ultra-modern cities, ultra-conducive cities, but at the same time, we need to take care of the negative consequences. How? Proptech is here to help. But what is a Proptech? Proptech is technology applied into property, or better, into the built environment. And what is the built environment? Think about 2 bricks and some cement placed together. That is the built environment. Wherever there is cement, wherever there is an infrastructure, a bridge, a public transportation railway, an airport, a harbor, you have a piece of the built environment. And every piece of the built environment can be helped by Proptech from the planning stage to the construction stage to the transaction stage, buy, sell, and finally to the management stage. This is where Proptech is extremely active all around the world. Last month I was in US, and US has been really booming in terms of Proptech solution. Nowadays there are more than 6 global VCs working actively on funding Proptech solution. Planning, every aspect of the planning stage, geospatial positioning, footfall in areas of urban development will help defining the type of infrastructure needed for that specific area. In construction, what is the biggest problem in construction? Cost overrunning, project delivery delayed, projects abandoned. Why? Because data are not controlled. And what about transaction? Securing a loan, finding buyers, managing rentals, managing leasing. And what about managing the built environment? Don't think about managing an office, managing a house, managing a smart city. How much effort should we put in without the right technology applied to help us? We have been talking about smart cities, right? Smart cities are urban centers that communicate and interact with people and their environment managing data to achieve higher sustainability, cost reduction, and enhanced safety for all occupants. We have been hearing so much about AI, isn't it? Well, allow me to say, I am a big supporter of AI. But here, in general, in the built environment, and not here in Saudi Arabia, all around the world, we are all jumping the gun. We need to digitalize the system. We need to digitalize planning stage, construction stage, transaction stage, and management stage. Then only we can plug in AI. Why? Because AI has the great advantage of being able to analyze a billion of data, giving us analytics and predictive analysis, helping us to manage and prevent 90% of the default in big urban centers. Finally, defeating the city paradox. And how to achieve this? Only in one way: collaborative effort. As president of the Malaysian Proptech Association, I keep on repeating to our members, ladies and gentlemen, do not keep on reinventing the wheel. We don't need that. We need you having a good solution, come to me, that I also have a good solution, and find ways of integrate the two, providing an effective, practicable, actionable, and effective solution to one of the billion of problems that the real estate industry has. Proptech is all about finding beneficial solutions for all stakeholders. This is what we can do through Proptech. There is so much more to say. Unfortunately, I've been given only 20 minutes, so I've been just scratching the surface. But you get connected, you can connect with me in LinkedIn, and I will be more than happy to share what I know, to hear your challenges, to direct you to who I know at global level having the right type of Proptech solution, because this is what I do, not only for all my members in the association in Malaysia, but from all around the world. Proptech is unbelievable, not only in US, in Middle East, in Asia, in Australia, in South America. There are unbelievable solutions, ladies and gentlemen, and we just don't need to reinvent the wheel. Raise your hand, ask the right question, you will get the right answer. And I'm more than willing to be here to give you the answer. Thank you very, very much, and be free to get in touch with me via WhatsApp, email, LinkedIn. I'm very easily to be approached. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Daniele. You have shared just a tiny part of your wealth of experience with us on stage. Thank you for taking the time to be with us. We really appreciate it. I'm going to remove the clicker. I'm going to encourage everybody to connect further with you. Thank you, Daniele.